I'd like to share some personal thoughts. And I normally don't share personal thoughts like this, but today has been an extraordinary day. And I wanted to share what was on my mind. And the topic is going to be on dealing with suicide and depression. The reason I'm sharing this as a video is because I feel that right now, today, we are at our most disconnected as people than we ever have been in the history of mankind. We are so absorbed with not only ourselves, but our computer screens, that we have lost, in many cases, what it is to relate to other people beyond them being text and a profile picture on a social media screen that you can click like or laughy face when you want to laugh at them, or dislike or whatever, angry face, etc. So I have a face and I have a voice, and I am using those today, as opposed to me typing a big, long post that no one will ever read anyway. So this morning I wake up like I wake up every morning. And that's because my days are pretty regimented. I do pretty much the same thing every day. So I wake up and I get out of bed and I do my bathroom things. And I come out of the bathroom and I make coffee and I go sit down on the couch and I pull out my phone. And I pull out my phone because I have to catch up with the world around me, right? This is my routine. It's what a lot of us do. So I'm flipping through Facebook. Political post, political post, political post, political post, meme, political post, cat meme. That one's pretty funny. And I'm stopped by another post from someone expressing their sorrow at the loss of a person I have known for 16 years. That's a long time. Now, we weren't best friends or anything like that. I'm not trying to delude anyone into thinking that I've lost like my soulmate brother. It was a person I knew for 16 years who had committed suicide recently, who I had just spoken with, or corresponded with, I should say, recently, a few days ago. He marks the 8th person, that's 8 people that I have known personally in my life, to have committed suicide. 7 men, 1 woman. Why they choose to commit suicide is their own personal thought. I cannot be in their headspace to answer why. I have no idea why. I have no idea what they're going through, the pain that they're experiencing. I don't know those things. I know that in most cases there were signs, not always. Some of the people that I've known who have killed themselves, I had talked to that very day and seemed fine. But they were going through such a storm in their life that no one seemed to know about it. And I can understand that, and I can relate to that. Depression and trauma are 2 things that many people go through. There's a large number of people right now that suffer from depression globally. I can guarantee you that you know someone right now that is going through depression. It may even be you going through depression. I know I have dealt with depression and have had to fight depression and trauma for most of my life, for many different reasons I don't need to get into in this video. But I can say that having dealt with depression, I went to school for psychology to understand my own brain. I studied sociology to understand how people relate to each other. I can say, living it firsthand, depression is just as lethal as any poison you can think of. It is just as lethal as a gunshot. It just doesn't kill you right away. It will slowly erode who you are and take you out from the inside. It's like an acid on the inside. And it has no mercy, has no pity. It will destroy you. Being that we live in such a disconnected world amplifies depression. Being that we live in such a disconnected world that we do live in, and all of the issues that are going on right now with a lot of people, political, racial tensions, all these, everything that's going on right now. I don't need to explain those things. I know you know what I'm talking about. Amplifies that depression because it preys on anxiety, which blows out fear, which triggers depression. It's like a nuclear cycle. It doesn't stop. And when you're isolated and by yourself, or you feel like you're isolated and by yourself, it just makes it worse. Now, I've always believed, and I still believe, that suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Because every day brings along new opportunities. And I believe that that is a mindset that you have to get yourself into. But I also know that when you're suffering from depression, you can say all the words you want to say. That doesn't fix anything. It doesn't change anything. It won't change anyone's mind. What people need is connection. They need to know that they belong. They need to know that people have their back. They need to have people they can talk to. Now, I gave the numbers on the people I know who have committed suicide. And those are just the numbers I know. And I am not the world. It was 7 men and 1 woman. And statistically speaking, that's pretty common that men do it more than women. Men are conditioned to not show their emotions. That is a social condition that is also usually also instilled in us by our parents and our family. That if you show emotion, you are weak. And if you are weak, you will be isolated. That is how the world works. In many cases, anyhow. And when, as a man, you are brought up to not show your emotions, to not ask for help when you need it, and to be expected to basically do nothing but produce results for people your whole life, as you get older, like any machine, you start to wear out. And as a machine, as you start to wear out, you stop being able to produce as much as you used to produce. And when a man can no longer produce and feels disconnected with the world, he has no purpose. And when a man has no purpose and feels that he can't contribute, these things can cause a problem. So what's the fix for that? I don't know that there is a fix for that. I don't think that's not something I can fix with this video. That's not something anyone can fix just by watching a video or talking about it. It is a social condition. Men have nowhere to go. Men have nowhere to turn to, and in many cases, if they want to express their feelings or their emotions, they're going to struggle. Because we're told not to since we were little boys. Don't cry. Rub dirt in it. Walk it off. Right? And I think in a lot of those cases, that contributes to the people I know who have committed suicide. And they didn't have anywhere they could go. They didn't have anyone they could talk to. Or they felt like they didn't have anyone they could talk to because they were feeling such pain. But if they expressed that pain, they would seem weak. And I'm just speculating because I don't know that for a fact. I know it is something I hear a lot, and I know I experience myself. I don't want to express the things that bother me because it's whining or it's complaining. And so we remain silent. So think about the people around you, men or women, and understand that there's someone you know, at least one person you know, that is going through something like this, depression. They're thinking of killing themselves. And just realize that if they do act on that, you don't get to say goodbye to them. You don't get to say anything to them anymore. They won't be there anymore. Ever. And I think a lot of that can be stopped now if we just pay attention. And if you're thinking about killing yourself, or you're struggling with depression, you're struggling with these thoughts, or you feel like you're by yourself, you have no one to turn to, I guarantee you that you do somewhere. You have someone you can talk to. And if you still feel like you have no one you can talk to, you can talk to me. You can send me a message. You can call me. You can email me. You can do whatever. Just get in touch with me. And we'll go out and have a beer or whatever. And we can talk about those things. Because I don't care how you come off. I don't care if you, whatever it is that you need to talk about, because I know when you need to talk and no one's around what that is. People prey on that. So please don't ever stay silent because you are afraid that you're going to be seen as whining or complaining. I need you to reach out. And you always can reach out at any time. So again, guys, pay attention to the people you love. Pay attention to the people around you. When people need help, they usually give you signs. Not always, but they usually give you signs. If you're good at paying attention, you'll see pattern changes. You need to take everything seriously. And don't ever think to yourself, he's not going to do it. They will. They will do it. You have to take it very seriously. Or else, again, you're going to have to bury another loved one. And no one needs to be burying anyone like that. It's a waste. It's a waste that can't be undone. There's no reset button to it. So, again, if you need anything, please reach out. I will be more than happy to have any type of discussion with you that you wish. If you're about anything at all. You aren't by yourself. You're not alone. We need to get our asses off of these computer screens. And we need to realize there are people behind words, people behind profile pictures. There's actual emotions, dreams, hopes, love, all of that behind each and every one. Technology should make our lives better, not isolate us into prison cells. All right. So that's all I have to say on this. Thank you for paying attention and watching. And go hug someone you love today.